This ship has been beyond the boundaries of our universe, of known scientific reality. Who knows where it's been?
Welcome once again, my fellow manipulators of digital fate. I'm Richie, this is Capricorn, and today we're back at it with another standard deck tech straight out of Edge of Eternity standard. But this one might take the cake, guys. This might be one of my craziest brews I've come up with in quite a while. This one's called Event Horizon, and I thought to myself, instead of trying to build a deck around weapons manufacturing or Pinnacle Emissary, why not smash them both together and try to build a deck around both? And we did exactly that. We can go so wide with so many artifacts so quickly, it's insane. And then how are we capitalizing on that? With Haunt the Network as a kill card. It just drains our opponent outright from out of nowhere, and they never see it coming. Not only that, but we have a ton of different ways we can pivot with this deck. We have a Plan B win condition, a Plan C win condition. We're using Beseech the Mirror to find silver bullet tutor targets. There's so much craziness happening in this deck. It's absolutely absurd, and I can't wait to iterate on it in the future because I really think we might be onto something with this one. Before we dive in and break it down and then get into the gameplay, please like the video. You guys that have been with me for a while, you know how much it matters that you like every video, and it does help the video get out to so many more people and helps the channel grow. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe so you never miss an upload. Tons of crazy deck techs on the way. I've got a few more in mind that I can't wait to show you guys. And I've got some spoiler videos on the way too, so look forward to that. But also catch me live Monday through Friday over on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/QuarantineCapricorn. Because if I'm alive and I'm breathing, I'm there and I'm streaming. Now let's break down this deck. So this deck is absolutely wild. We got two new cards in Edge of Eternities that both let us go insanely wide with artifacts. So I thought to myself, what if we use them together and we use them with Haunt the Network? So first of all, we have weapons manufacturing. 2-mana enchantment. Whenever a non-token artifact you control enters, you make a colorless artifact token named Munitions. When this token leaves the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to any target, which is a nice little bit of silver lining value in a deck like this. But what we really care about is every single artifact that we play gives us 2 artifacts on the battlefield, the one that we played and the Munitions token. We're also running 4 copies of Pinnacle Emissary, a 3-mana 3/3 that you can also just warp out for 1 mana if you want to get some extra value as you're curving out. And whenever you cast any artifact spell, you create a 1/1 colorless drone artifact creature token with flying, but the token can block only creatures with flying itself. So both of these cards give us artifact tokens every time you play an artifact, with Pinnacle Emissary also being an artifact itself, which means it can trigger the weapons manufacturing or potentially original copies of Pinnacle Emissary that you already have on the battlefield. And since you can warp it out, you can essentially play it twice to get 2 triggers off of a weapons manufacturing, once earlier in the game for warping it, and then once later in the game playing it for its hard cost from exile after you've warped it. All of these crazy tokens start to add up so that bam, we smash we smash our opponent in the face with Haunt the Network, a 5-mana sorcery. Choose target opponent, create 2 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature tokens with flying, and then that player loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of artifacts you control. So if we're super wide with artifacts and adding 2 more to the mix when we play Haunt the Network, we're draining our opponent for a metric ton. Sometimes that's enough to just kill them outright right there. But if it isn't, we have a whole bunch more value in the deck, whether we're swinging in with our flying tokens from the Pinnacle Emissary or finding ways to sacrifice the Munitions tokens to just burn our opponent outright. It's really great that the Munitions tokens can also double as removal if we need them to. So the rest of the deck is sort of built around that. We have 3 copies of Beseech the Mirror in this deck. Not only is it a way to sacrifice our Munitions tokens, but there are so many negligible artifacts in this deck that have already kind of done their thing after you play them and are just sitting there. So it's really easy to bargain this. And if we bargain it, we can use it to find some key win conditions. First of all, we can find a cursed recording. And if we have a cursed recording on the battlefield, not only is it an artifact, when we play it, it's going to trigger our weapons manufacturing and our Pinnacle Emissary. But once it's out, when we play Haunt the Network, now we get 2 Haunt the Networks. That means we get 2 tokens, we drain, and then we get another 2 tokens, and then we drain for even more, which is just insane, and we absolutely will win if we get to that point. But what's really cool about Cursed Recording is if we already have it on the battlefield and then we play a Beseech the Mirror, we get double the Beseech the Mirror, and we can find 2 things with it. Which means one of them can just find another Beseech the Mirror if we want, and the other one can find whatever we want. Some of those 4 drops that we can find, we have 1 Phantom Train. This is a 4 mana artifact that's going to trigger our weapons manufacturing and our emissary, but it's also a free sack outlet, so we can just sacrifice all of our munitions tokens and just kill our opponent outright that way. So it's something that we can tutor up that can just win the game for us in the right situation. Sometimes we can also, if we don't quite have enough damage from munitions tokens, just wait and swing with this after sacrificing a bunch of stuff, and it's just a huge trampler out of nowhere. Phantom Train, so good as an alternate win condition. We also have Detective Satchel. If you're not quite ready to win the game, you're not quite ready to set up with Cursed Recording because you don't have Haunt the Network in your hand, and you're not ready to make use of the Phantom Train, what you can do is you can find the Detective Satchel, which is a 4 mana artifact. When it enters, you investigate twice, so you get 3 artifacts onto the battlefield, which furthers our cause, but also you can tap it to create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying, as long as you've sacrificed an artifact this turn. And we have so many ways built into this deck to sacrifice our artifacts so that we can use our munitions token as an alternate win con if we need to. One of them being the Phantom Train we already talked about. We've also, the Beseech the Mirror itself can bargain things, and that can be a sacrifice. But we've also got a bunch of stuff earlier on in the deck. We've got 1 copy of Tarian's Journal, which honestly might be good enough to run multiple copies of, but since we have tutors in this deck, and it's legendary, I'm going with just 1 copy for now. But this is a free way to just tap, sack any artifact, draw a card. When you're sacking munitions tokens to draw cards and kill one of their creatures, it can be really good. We've also got 4 copies of Legion Extruder, which again is an artifact that's going to trigger our emissary and our manufacturing, and be removal as we're curving out if we need it to be, but then it's also a sacrifice outlet. We can pay 2, tap it, sack any of our artifacts to make a 3/3, which obviously gets even better if we're sacrificing those munitions tokens. We're also running 2 copies of Chainsaw, which is just another piece of really good early removal. But also, as all of our creatures die, or as all of our opponent's creatures die, this thing can get stacked up with counters. So eventually you can just equip it to one of your little 1/1 flying drones, or one of your 1/1 Thopters, and just swing for a massive amount of damage in the air. So that's kind of like a plan C win con. And that's what's so cool about this deck, is it has so many different ways it can sort of leverage and win the game. It's just got so many different ways to get there. Obviously, plan A is to get there with Haunt the Network. Plan B is to just nuke them outright with the munitions. But plan C, having all of these evasive little creatures, we can sometimes just kill them with those. And we can definitely do it if we're equipping a Chainsaw that's got a bunch of counters on it. We're also running 4 copies of Gleaming Geardrake. It's 2 mana, but it creates a clue when we play it. So we get 2 artifacts for 1, and more importantly, it's an actual artifact that you're casting. So it is going to trigger both the Pinnacle Emissary and the weapons manufacturing, while giving you an additional token with that clue token, which is really good for going wide. But also, because we have so many ways to sacrifice artifacts in this deck, the Geardrake itself can get built up with a bunch of counters really quick, which is awesome. Going back to the 1-drop slot, we've got 4 Grim Baubles, which act as really good early removal that also trigger our artifact tokens. We can sacrifice it to Surveil if we want. We can sacrifice it to some of our other sacrifice effects. We've also got 3 copies of Synthesizer Labship, which is just nuts. Just a 1-mana artifact, triggers all of our synergies, and all we need to do is station it up to at least 2 counters, and we can start swinging in with like a munitions token every turn for like 2 damage, and if they kill it, they take 2 damage from it dying since it's a munitions token. So it's just an extra way to just chip in at our opponent very efficiently. And then we also have 3 copies of Demonic Junker, which in this deck, we're going so wide with artifacts so quickly that it would be silly to not include this card. Most of the time it comes down as a 1-mana artifact that kills literally anything we need to kill, potentially kills just one of our little drone guys off a Pinnacle Emissary in order to put 2 counters on itself, and then ends up being a win condition that we can use later on to just swing in for extra damage or to block against aggro decks. This card is just nuts. It does so much, and I love it in this deck. Moving on to the 3-drop slot, we've got a couple cards we haven't gone over yet. First of all, we've got a Repurposing Bay. This is another way to search up certain cards that we might need in the moment. We can sacrifice our munitions tokens to find a 1-drop like a Grim Bauble or a Synthesizer Labship, which is nice. We can also sacrifice like the Grim Bauble to find a 2-drop like a Legion Extruder if we need a sack outlet, or the 1 copy of Tarian's Journal. And if we really need to, we can sacrifice one of those 2-drops to potentially find a 3-drop like Pinnacle Emissary and get it out and get things to snowball into insanity, which I think is just really, really cool. If we're desperate, we could sack the Pinnacle Emissary to find one of those 4-drops like Cursed Recording, Phantom Train, Detective Satchel. Most of the time we're not going to want to do that because the Emissary is going to get us so much value. But either way, there's just so many different ways for this deck to win, whether you're getting there with Haunt the Network with an insane play later on in the game, or you're just aggroing them out with all of your 1/1 flyers, or you're just all of a sudden finding your Phantom Train and just sacking all your munitions tokens to just win outright. The deck is extremely versatile, has so many different ways it can pivot, and I'm absolutely in love with this build. I will definitely keep iterating on it in the future. I think we're really on to something here, but don't take my word for it. Let's check out the gameplay. This hand's a little bit tricky. We can't play the Legion Extruder, but I think it's worth keeping at least. Guess we start with the Thundering Falls. It does turn on our red, which is not the worst thing ever. We want to save the Pinnacle Emissaries and the Labship to all do on the same turn. I think we just kill the Bloomkin while we can with the Legion Extruder. It's a bummer we don't have weapons manufacturing, but I think we can still get to where we need to get to. So Gloomlake Verge, we'll go warp into Pinnacle Emissary, warp into Pinnacle Emissary, get a token, Synthesizer Labship, get a bunch of tokens, station, 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 station. Can't really swing in though because this has reach. Still, a lot of value on the board now. What do we do with our 4 mana next turn? We could play Tarian's Journal and sack something to Legion Extruder if we wanted. We don't have any of our instants or sorceries for Cursed Recording, so I don't know if that's a priority. Plus, we don't even have the second red. Alright, Labship's toast. Sirach is down. So, Tarian's Journal. We'll kill the spinner and one of our 1/1s. Draw a card. It's fine. Pass the turn. Now, if he tries to attack with Sirach, we can block with the Demonic Junker. It's not the best board state ever, but it's definitely decent. I'm definitely not upset. What you got, Sirach? Aganosaur Rex. Just an 8/8. Doesn't want to swing in. That's what I thought. Let's see, we got some more land, but we don't have any red. Ah, this is tricky. Let's go Tarian's Journal. Try to draw a card. Legion Extruder. Can't kill anything with it though. Guess we just pass the turn. The Rex will be able to get in. 6, 7, 8. Herd Heirloom. Would you like to swing? So I think we sack this dude. Make a 3/3. And then we crew with the Pinnacle Emissary. And then we double block. It's kind of a bummer we don't get to keep one. But it is what it is. Trade with the Rex. Plays a Flourishing Bloomkin. Oof. Still no more red. That's rough. I don't think we can afford to play the weapons manufacturing yet without more red. I really want to kill that damn Sirach. I guess we do this. And then we sack this to draw. Well, we've got to haunt the network. That's not nothing. We can also sack our Tarian's Journal to make another 3/3 if we want. I think we just let the Bloomkin through, though. If he attacks with Sirach, we definitely... Alright, well that makes the decision easy at least. No blocks. We're keeping the Sirach at bay, which is nice. So we've got Haunt the Network. Drain for 6, make 2 1/1s. Could be really good. We just don't have enough red. I guess we just do it. And we'll sack one of these dudes. And we'll play a theater. We finally have double red. No tax. We got a chump blocker for the Bloomkin. We've got a golem that can trade with Sirach. Oh, right. He can give it trample. So I guess we just don't block. Kind of pointless. All we do is end up preventing 1 damage. So we go to 7. One, two, 1. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to kill this damn Bloomkin. Can we do 7 damage in the same turn? Not really. Not really. Let's do this. We can go Bauble, Legion Extruder, kill the 𝐀𝐫𝐞𝐧𝐚. I don't know how much that helps us with the Bloomkin. So let's just do it like this then, I guess. Go ahead, draw a card. And then use Legion Extruder to sack the munitions to give us another 3/3 and to finish off the 𝐀𝐫𝐞𝐧𝐚. He gets to draw a ton of cards, but I mean, we kind of have to, right? And then we will sack the drone that can't block. No attacks. 9, 10, 11. We actually kind of had close to lethal if we just focused on swinging last turn. 𝐁𝐫𝐞𝐳. We're gonna have to block with everything. Well, maybe not. He doesn't have a way to buff it. Oh, he does. It's an 8/8 now. So we got to do it like this. Alright, he gets to find a thing. And he gets to play the thing. He's got 4 mana. 6. We could Bauble, Haunt the Network. Drain him for 8. Weapons Manufacturing, Cursed Recording. There's actually kind of a lot we can do. I think we gotta kill the spinner. Let's play out Weapons Manufacturing. We'll go Legion Extruder. Target the spinner. And then we will use a Legion Extruder to sack a munitions. Also targeting the spinner. And make a 3/3. Let's pass the turn. We might need this guy as a chumper. I was tempted to sack it to the Tarian's Journal since we can only do that at sorcery speed. But if he ends up having removal, he could theoretically get to lethal. We need to make sure that doesn't happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage from Haunt the Network. Alright, he's up to 3. He's got land, artifact, and creature. And now he's got sorcery. So he's a 7/7 Trampler. Scrap Shooter. Very surprised you did that. You could have killed one of my golems and swung, and I wouldn't have been able to trade. Very, very surprised there. We'll do it like this. One, two, three, four, 5. So we go warp. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's still only 13. It's still only 13. Oh, he's just gonna scoop. Okay, that's fine. No blue is kind of rough. And 2 tapped lands is also kind of rough. We're gonna mulligan. This is much better. I think we toss back. Honestly, probably one of the Pinnacle Emissaries. As much as I'd love to keep it. Alright, let's see what you got. Ronin S2K. We'll start with a Watery Grave. Play the Blazemire Verge next turn. And probably just Emissary, warp out an Emissary with a Grim Bauble. Come on, Ronin. Show me how mighty you are. Show me. Are you just giving up? Oh, you decided to play something. We have nothing to kill, so we might as well just theater. Definitely keep the weapons manufacturing. Pass the turn. What you got? Okay, okay. Well, we'll play out the weapons manufacturing. Pass a turn. We can Emissary, Bauble, and Extruder all in the same turn if we want. Although it's worth noting, if we need to do more than just 2 damage to kill things, we need to just play the Legion Extruder and then sack the munitions token. Interesting. Warp. Bauble. Blue. No rest, no mercy. Kill that dude. Make another munitions token. And then we'll just do 2 damage to the head. Get our sacrifice outlet on board so that we can just use our munitions to kill things. Seems pretty okay. Next turn we have enough mana to hard cast the Pinnacle Emissary and still sack munitions and make a 3/3. Which is kind of amazing. We're still at a full 20 life. Curious how much you can do with this slick shot. We're gonna find out. Witch's Mark. Not awful. Not quite enough to kill us this turn, though. Shelter. What are you going to hit? Okay. Verge. Pass the turn. The ward is the problem here. Maybe I even shouldn't have played the Pinnacle Emissary, just kept up all of my mana. Thunder Magic. 4 damage to target creature. Well, might as well do this then. I think we take the 5. Demonic Junker. Well, that'll get rid of it real quick. You know what? We'll kill our drone too. Get some counters on the Junker. Alright, end the turn. We hold up Legion Extruder. We can kill something with 2 damage at instant speed, which is kind of gnarly. Builder's Talent, sure. Don't know if that's enough. Surveil 2 or make a dude. We'll do this. Could have just sacked the Bauble to Surveil 2. Another land. Isn't that something? Alright. We will crew with the one that has Summoning Sickness. And we'll swing for 12. End the turn. If we want, we can sack this to Surveil 2. Make sure we draw something good. I think it's probably worth it. He's very close to dead. Very, very close to dead. Swiftblade Vindicator. Sure. Demonic Ruckus. Sure. Alright. What's the last card? What is the last card? Sack the Bauble. Surveil. That looks good to me. And then we'll use Legion Extruder. Sack this. 2 damage. Then we will crew with the new one that has Summoning Sickness. And then we will equip the chainsaw onto one of the other guys. And we will swing for 16 damage. $13 if he blocks a 3/3. He has to block the Junker. Then he goes to 2. Which means literally all we need to do is sack this munitions and we win. Really, really crazy. Really, really crazy. Well, there it is. No red mana, so we have to ship it. This is much better. Keep. Toss back the Repurposing Bay. We'll start with a theater. Dump the Verge. We need gas. We need gas. Authority, sure. We'll go weapons manufacturing. Next turn we go Raucous Theater into Legion Extruder probably. Case. Sanctifier. Give me a token. Give me a dead Sanctifier. And we will theater to dig. Geardrake seems wonderful. Three. Yeah. We will get to play a Junker, I think. So we'll play out the Junker. We'll make another munitions token. We'll kill the Sanctifier. That's a lot of munitions. And another 1-mana Junker in our hand. That's pretty sick. Don't think we need to, though. We'll do this. Sack of munitions. Get a counter on the Geardrake. Kill the dude. Sack the clue. Get another counter. And just to be sure, we'll swing in for an extra point here with the Junker. Should be able to do some pretty crazy things real soon. Pride Mate. We can't sack 2. I think. We'll go Grim Bauble. Grim Bauble. Kill the Pride Mate. And then we will Legion Extruder. Sack one of our munitions. 2 to his head. Get an extra counter on the Geardrake. Yeah, he'll gain 2, but we swing in for 8. Put him at 16. And we have a pretty crazy board. If we need to kill something, we Junker. If we don't, we go for combos with Beseech. Another weapons manufacturing. That's not bad, but I like this better. Let's bargain a munitions token away. Hit for 2. And we'll grab... Do we want to grab Phantom Train? We could also get Cursed Recording or Detective Satchel. Let's grab the Satchel, man. I like the Satchel. Make a 𝐁𝐫𝐞𝐧𝐚. Sure, you gain life, but we gain value. And we'll swing in for 7. I think we're pretty much there. Enduring Innocence. Weapons manufacturing. Demonic Junker. Kill the Enduring Innocence. Kill our own 𝐁𝐁𝐵𝐷𝐼. So that we get 2 counters on it. And once again, we will do this. And we will swing for 7. Do I want to draw a card? I'm gonna wait. I'm going to wait. We get to use the Detective Satchel. Angel of Vitality, sure. We will sack a munitions token. Do 2 to the Angel. Make a 3/3. Because something's been sacrificed, we get to make a 1/1. And we should have lethal. Almost positive. Almost positive we got lethal here. Yeah. Because of the vehicles, the extra damage we can do from munitions, it's just so much. We can keep this. We're gonna start with Thundering Falls. Keep the weapons manufacturing. Commercial District. Sure. Alright, so we'll play the Verge, we'll play the weapons manufacturing, and I think we're off to the races. Probably play the Geardrake first. Two Synthesizer Labships, that's wild. Yeah, we'll play the Geardrake. We'll get a munitions and a clue. We now have 3 artifacts on board. Let's see what our opponent does here. Kind of nothing. Alright, we'll go Pinnacle Emissary. Labship. Labship. Station here. Station here. Station here. Move to combat. You. And you. And swing 5. That seems pretty good. That seems pretty good. Not gonna lie. We've even got a demonic junker held up for just one, which is also kind of nuts. Trapped in the screen on my weapons manufacturing. Well, unfortunately, I think it's a little bit too late for that. I think it's a little bit too late. Let's go with, kind of greedy. Guess we'll just play out the Pinnacle Emissary. 3, 6, 9. Four, 5, 6. We're doing some wild things here. Swing for 8. Second main. We station the second lab ship with the first one. Alright, this is just nuts. This is just crazy. This is just absolute insanity. Day of Judgment, destroy all creatures. Sure. I don't even know how much that matters, to be completely honest. Tarian's Journal. We will sack a munitions. Hit for 2, draw a card. I guess we will draw a card. And then I guess we just win. Station this the rest of the way with the Pinnacle Emissary. Also make one of the munitions. Swing for 6. Well, that seems really good. Really, really good. This looks pretty decent. Keep 7. I want to save the Grim Bauble if I can. I'll start with Watery Grave tapped. Llanowar Elves. Do this. We'll do this. Mossborn Hydra. We are absolutely going to kill that. Goodbye, Mossborn Hydra. The Grim Baubles are great too because even later in the game, they're not useless against bigger creatures because it can get you the extra 2 you need along with like a munitions token or something. Swing 1. This is so over. This is so over. Beseech the Mirror, bargain, sack of munitions, kill the Tifa. We have so much we could do. I think... Honestly, I think we probably just want the Detective Satchel. It triggers the weapons manufacturing, gives us 2 more things, and we can immediately make a 1/1 with it. Seems pretty good. We even have clues now. Archdruid's Charm. Searching for a creature or land. Finds the Mossborn Hydra. I think that's a little too late, buddy. I think that's a little too late. Too bad we can't Pinnacle Emissary into something. I guess we can just do this. Make more munitions. Tap it, sack of munitions. Kill the Llanowar Elves. Make a 1/1. And we can swing for 1. Next, 2 damage. End the turn. Mossborn Hydra. Alright, go up to 2, 4, 8. I think you might just be dead, though. Kill the Mossborn Hydra. We still get all the counters on the Phantom Train. Wild. Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. My turn. Let's just play the Cursed Recording. Make some more munitions. Sure. Sack one of them. Hit for 2. I think we just win. I think we just win. Smack them with all the munitions, buff up the Phantom Train. Yeah, it's just over. Just over, baby. Thanks so much for checking out my channel. I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons over at Patreon. Without you guys, this channel would not be possible, so honestly, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your contributions. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe. The more likes we get and the quicker we get them, the bigger this channel will grow and the faster it will grow. I'd love nothing more than this channel to become something very special for you guys, but it's entirely up to you how fast that happens. Also, if you'd like more deck text, that's somewhere over there. And if you'd like to see what else the channel's been up to lately, that's somewhere up that way. Also, subscribe, circle below, do all the things.